Guys, welcome to the weekly Cardone University Mastermind call. My name is Steve Spray, and I'm coming to you live here from Miami Beach, Florida. This is where the headquarters of Cardone Training Technologies is, and what we're doing here is we come to you live every single Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason why we do that is because we want to bring all you like-minded hustlers together, and what we want to talk about is how to be successful with your Cardone University program. So everything inside this program is really designed to be able to help you get more deals, more opportunities, more success, and to be able to do better at what you're doing every single day. And so the reason why we put all this together, the reason why we do this is because we want to make sure that you're understanding what you need to know to be successful with Cardone University. And so that's exactly what today's show is going to be about. It's going to be about know what cycle you're in. So we get a lot of messages. I get a lot of messages. People write me in. They want to send me things. They want to send me questions, and they ask really generic questions like, hey, what's my script for this? And for me, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, let's use a real estate agent as an example. Okay, he's like, hey, what's a script for a real estate agent? Well, there could be many different scripts for a real estate agent. Number one, it could be on a listing. It could be on trying to get a new buyer. It could be on a rental. It could be a script for a follow-up. It could be a script for day 30 follow-up, and it could be a script for day 38 follow-up. I don't know, man. What cycle is the guy in? And so that's where Cardone University is going to be able to help you out, but you've got to understand where you're at. So if you're in insurance, if you're in auto sales, okay, I'm calling the service ticket. I'm calling an orphan owner. I'm calling somebody that I know, and I'm trying to sell them a vehicle because I know that they drive a vehicle. Those are all different cycles, and that's why all the scripts are inside the program, Cardone University. So what we're going to do today is we are going to discuss, how do I know what cycle I'm in? How do I know what I need to do whenever I make a phone call so that way I can get the script right? So guys, what you want to take a look at when you go into the program is going to be inside Training Center. So hopefully you guys are coming back. You guys are doing your 6 training segments every single day. This is the recommended formula, 6 segments every single day. Now, what I personally do is, look, I'm going through the curriculum over and over. I've been doing it. But what I'm also doing is I'm using the program for correction throughout the day. And so I'm using it when I have attention on certain things. Now, this is where you want to identify, hey, what is going to get me the most money right now? What's going to get me the most deals right now, today, this month? We're just starting off in July, so we want to look at, hey, what's going to get me a deal now? What can I focus on inside Cardone University for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days that is going to change the way I operate? That way I can have a better shot at closing more deals. So the first thing I want to talk about is, look, man, the people that are having success on this program are unbelievable. And so, guys, if you're having success, write them into us. Man, we love hearing them because they're huge. They're massive. And they're exactly what we told you was going to happen once you applied the data. I had Alina from Chia Treats. Okay, this right here, once I heard this, I was like, I was really blown away because what she initially wrote in was, she said, hey, look, typically when I sell my Chia Treats, we're doing them in 24 piece units. We're selling 24 units at one time. She just closed on a 500 unit deal for her company using the content that she's used inside Grant's material here at Cardone University. So, big shout out to Alina at the Chia Treats. And so what I wanted to do was, take a look at that. Like, what did she do? Well, the first thing she had to do was really set a target. And that's what Grant's always telling you. Look, you got to set a target. You got to keep your eye on the target. And what I'm going to roll into today is going to be talking about, hey, once you've identified that target, what cycle do I need to pay attention to and understand that they're in so that I can use the right training that's going to help me out? So what I want to do is I want to jump in. John, if you want to jump onto the training center right here. And so if you guys are looking at this and I'm thinking about a prospect, it's the beginning of the month. I'm thinking about, hey, who can I get a deal from now? What training can I use to be able to get me a deal now? Well, what I'm going to look at first is I'm going to look at, okay, are they a warm prospect? Are they inside prospecting? Because when I go inside prospecting, what's going to happen is Grant's going to talk to you about, look, this is how to build a list. This is how to work a list, a pipeline. This is how to work all those leads in your CRM. This is how to work all those people you know, people in automotive sales, real estate agents, people that are in network marketing. Look, this is all for you. Insurance agents. I mean, anybody. Look, this is people that you know, that you've done business with, that have bought from you before. But still, at the end of the day, after I learn and understand how to build up this list, how to create the list, what's it look like when I make the call? So I'm going to dive inside warm calls right here. Now, for this is where you've got to identify, what cycle you're in. John, you ever sold anything to anybody you know before? Somebody in your family? You ever sold them something? Or
Yeah, I sold a car to a friend once.
Okay, yeah, good, man. So that call, whenever you called him up, that was probably a little bit different than it was on a cold call because he was your friend, man. You knew him. Okay, so guys, look, that John's saying, look, man, I did it. One time I gave my friend a call and I sold him a car. John was trying to make him a little bit of paper. He probably made a little bit of money on his car. Look, this is somebody in your power base. So you got to identify, look, this is what cycle I'm in right now. I'm in the power base call. There's 2 different segments right here just on what that call looks like, the preparation for the call, what to expect, how to handle it. Now, if I'm in automotive sales, if I'm in a company who has a reoccurring, monthly fee where, look, they're servicing a customer every single month. If you're an insurance agent, if you're, somebody who's actually working and servicing somebody every single month, look, the service customer, this is somebody that I'm working with. And so what I want you guys to really understand is when, you're thinking about, hey, what script do I use? Okay, I need you to think with who is that person. So this is when you go in and, you look at, hey, what's it look like when I convert the unsold? They know who I am, but this is a warm call, but I need to convert them. Or people I do business with. So those are a few examples right there of somebody that's inside of an actual warm call. So guys, if you want to call in today, I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to find out what cycle of action you're in right now and how to use Cardone University to be able to close that deal, get that opportunity, or make that phone call. So if you want to call in, guys, call into 305-865-8668. And so when you guys call in, what we're going to do is we are going to handle any problem that you have. So I did have one question here. So before I go into, the next piece of, the other types of cycles of action, the follow-up, whether you're in a cold call, whether you're trying to go knock on somebody's door, I'm going to still handle this prospecting piece right here. And I had a message come in from Keith Pinkerton. Okay, the man's been on Cardone University for a while now. He's out there crushing. He's in the UK. And what he wrote in was, look, I got 2,000 leads right now, but I'm spending a lot of time going through the list, researching the companies, researching their websites, and getting a feel for the company before picking up the phone. As a result, I'm making fewer calls. Okay, what his question is, how can I prepare my leads so I can just blast through the phone calls without needing to shift through the huge list doing research? Okay, this is an unbelievable question, and this is where Grant talks a lot about, look, man, dude, sometimes you just got to pick the phone up. And this is what I want you to do. If you're taking notes on this call, I want you guys to write down frequency before good. Frequency before good. So let's just say you've made the list. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside and master the cold call right here. And so what I want to do is get prepared. It sounds like what Keith is doing is he's saying, look, man, I'm cold calling people. I'm cold calling, but there's things you've got to understand. So, look, these are the cold calling basics, the things that you want to understand before you go into, hey, what's this call look like before I make the call? And so what you really want to do is you want to be able to get everything set in place. You want to have a full understanding, and then you want to take massive, massive, massive amounts of action on this list. Grant's going to tell you, hey, look, it's going to take you 8 attempts just to get a hold of one person. It's going to take 8 attempts just to get a hold of one person. So what do I need to do before preparing for that type of call? So, look, he's talking about defining the contact. And this is where Keith has his question. Look, man, what do I need to do to be able to figure out? Well, more likely you figured out from your research because you built the list, you created the list. So, you've really kind of defined the actual contact. You've identified, hey, who is this? Who is the person that I'm going to be calling? What's the name of the person? And so you got to really understand that piece first. But that doesn't mean that you've got to dig in and do 30 minutes of research on one guy with one cold call, because in step 2 right here where Grant says, look, man, you're going to have to do the math. You are going to have to do the math about how many cold calls it's actually going to take to get a hold of somebody. So guys, if you have questions, call in at 305-865-8668. We're going to handle any problem that you guys have right now. Right now, what we're handling is a question for Keith, who said, look, how do I actually apply more action when making these calls? I want to be prepared for them. So what I do is I identify, look, who's the list? I break it down. So if I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a look at what I was talking about before. So let's just say I'm calling people my power base. Okay, these are people that know me. I do the training. I train on the segments. I build the list. I've watched the videos. I've prepared myself for today. Well, I'm not just going to make one call to somebody that's in my power base. I mean, I could, but man, I want to be most productive because I just did the math and I understood that, look, I got to call a lot of people to be able to get in front of them. I got to call a lot of people just to get them on the phone, let alone be able to get the opportunity for somebody to say, yeah, hey, I would take a look at what you're doing. I did hear that you were doing that and I'll take a look at it. So what you want to do is you want to go down, do that list. Maybe I'm going to bust out 10, 20, 30, 40 people that are actually in my power base, and I'm gonna actually learn that in the morning. I'm gonna get that call down tight because I've identified, dude, this is the cycle of action, man. This is the phone call that I'm on. What's my script look like? Well, I'm not gonna have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different phone calls coming out in a period of the next hour. I'm gonna bust out that list of people who know me right away. I'm gonna train beforehand so that I can get that set in place. That way I can really understand exactly what's happening. So we got a message sent in right here, coming in live. I'm going to read that one here in just one second. So basically what you want to find out for you, Keith, is you want to be able to identify first who these people are. If they're CEOs, that's where you got to get your pitch down. That's where you got to get your pitch down for these companies, because you're calling up, you're doing some sort of advertising for the company. Inside Master the Cold Call, it's going to get your pitch down. If you've practiced your pitch, if you have those right questions down, if you have the process set up, you're ready to roll. You've done the training and all the pieces inside here. You've done how to get past the gatekeeper, what to expect when I get the gatekeeper, because that call's all of a sudden your call is going to change a little bit, so you need to be prepared for that. But inside cold call process right here, these are the types of calls that Keith's making. You've got to be prepared. What's going to happen is, look, the greeting's going to get down okay. The initial part, guys, is just really getting the guy on the phone. The biggest problem that you're going to have, too, after getting the guy on the phone is having that quick little pitch that's going to be fast. It's going to set the hook. That's where you got to get the quick greeting and the big claim. Because once you set that hook, I mean, you guys are fishing, okay? You want to set that hook, and if you can't set that hook, you want to get close, okay? You want to scrape them if you have to. That way, the next time you do a follow-up phone call, what happens is you're doing that follow-up phone call, and now all of a sudden it's not that cold anymore because he knows who you are. That's a separate cycle. That's a separate cycle. So maybe your pitch is going to change a little bit. That's where you guys have really got to understand, hey, what type of call I'm making. So a really generic question of like, hey, I'm in auto sales. Can you do a call for me? I don't know what that call looks like. That's why you got to get into the Cardone University and you got to tell me, hey, I'm making a call to this guy right here. He's in the service. He was coming through the service lane. And I want to make a call out to him because this guy's, I know, has been buying vehicles from us for 10 years. I think I could probably sell him a new vehicle. I seen what he had last time, right? You've got to understand that call is different than the one you're going to make out to somebody that may just be a friend. He doesn't even know you work at the dealership. Okay, so I want you guys to really understand. I got a question right here sent in from YouTube. Question from Power to Reach. What do you do when you burn through your power base prospects and work 10 hours a day from home? Well, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go back. That's an awesome question. I'm glad somebody asked that because I got a video for you. So I want you to go inside prospecting. What they're saying is, hey, look, man, I smoked out my list. What I want you to look inside prospecting, I want you to train on these two pieces right here, prospecting basics. I want you to train on prospecting tips. Now, look, if you're doing 6 segments per day, you can knock out the prospecting program in 5 days. In 1 week, so that you can get prepared, so you can understand exactly what's happening. That way, when you do burn out your list, because when I'm going to call my power base, look, I got to have my expectations right. I got to have an understanding of, hey, what's that call look like, man? Maybe they're not in the market. Maybe they're not going to buy my product. Okay. But what am I always going to do? Dude, I'm going to ask for a referral. Okay. I'm going to find out because look, they're in your power base. Their power base is at least 5, 10, 20 people. So what you want to look at is I want you to come up here and I want you to type in referral. Okay. And this is going to be in the search bar. So if you guys can see where I typed in the search bar referral, okay, how many businesses out there are based off referrals? All of them. Okay, all these videos right here, they're just going to be all highlighted for you so that you can jump in. You can actually see, hey, what are the mistakes in getting referrals? What's a referral close? How do I get a referral? What's the basics of asking about a referral? What's the outbound referral phone call look like? Because they're in my power base, they told me that they weren't interested, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up. That doesn't mean that I'm going to give up on what I'm doing because I got a great product. Just because they're not going to buy it doesn't mean that they don't know somebody who would buy it. And just because they told me no doesn't mean that I'm going to give up on them. Okay, if you guys remember the story in Sell or Be Sold, Grant talking about, look, the first time he asked Elena out on a date, what'd she say? No, not happening. Okay, the second time, the third time, the fifth time. Guys, I want you to understand, look, the stream beats the rock every single time. It's very important for you to really understand how to be persistent. The only reason somebody in your power base on a cold call would tell you that, dude, you're annoying or that's too much follow-up is because there's no value added inside your follow-up, which is why you need to train inside the follow-up program and use the follow-up tool. Second question is going to be how do you gain new prospects in so little time during the end of the day? Dude, I'm always looking. I haven't always. If you don't have always, you end up with nevers. I'm always looking for new prospects, which means where did you get all your prospects now? I'm always looking at, I always go back and I'm looking, hey, where did these prospects come from? Did they come from referrals? Did they come from this business, that business? Were they CEOs? Did I get a hold of somebody through a different department? Where did that person come from? So I'm always looking. Okay, so I'm going to take a call right here. So we got Danny from New York City. Danny, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing unbelievable, man. Tell everybody who you are.
Yes, my name is Daniel Barrera. I am from New York, calling with Creative Marketing Consulting. We help dermatologists double their practice in 90 days or less by positioning them as market leaders online.
Okay.
Perfect. So, Steve, thank you so much for your time. I had a quick question for you. I'm in Cardone University, but what I'm having trouble with right now, personally, is developing sales material. You know, having sort of like a formatted sales material that I can use time and time again, because what I have to do is with each prospect, I have to redo my entire sales presentation, and it takes me a lot of time, probably spend anywhere between 3 to 4 hours per each presentation that I put together. So I was wondering if you have any tips on that.
Yeah, so, basically what I would do, I think you're asking like, hey, how do I put together a sales process, right? Or are you asking, hey, every time I do a presentation, I gotta do all this research, I gotta do all this homework?
Correct. Yeah. Have like I don't have a templated sales material per se. No sales material. So what I have to do is I contact the practice owner or the marketing manager at the practice, and then they actually request some information back. I don't have that information that they request back. I usually have to put together some information about their own practice and do sort of like a competitive analysis and then send it back to them. But that takes me 3 to 4 hours. So I'm finding out that these leads are getting called, because of that amount of time. So I don't know if there's a way.
So you're basically asking like, hey, how can I tighten that up a little bit? Because, doing all the research on the back end. So you're basically like doing all the work, sending in a proposal, and they're not getting back to you because the proposal is not maybe working.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no problem, man. So what I would do is I would look at this. I would tighten this up. So There's going to be a great piece of the program right here that, really what you should do if you're on Cardone University is click inside sales process. You guys need to do this all the time. You need to go back. You need to relook at it. Okay. If you go through this one time, you evaluate it one time, you need to go back and actually find out, hey, what is working? We're always looking at our sales process. We always stick to the same steps. Everything stays exactly the same. But we're doing what Danny's doing right now. We're asking, hey, how do we tighten that up? What question, right? So, when Grant found out that, hey, look, if we started asking sooner in the presentation, hey, have you seen enough to make a decision? Well, that type of question is technically down here in like trial closing. And we started asking it in the middle of the presentation. We actually put it in 3 different places inside the presentation. So there's different areas inside my sales process where, look, I'm going to show them this feature and say, hey, look, have you seen enough to make a decision? And so that's one example, and that doesn't really help out Danny right now. But what I'm saying is you guys need to evaluate everything that's happening. So what I would do for you, Danny, is I would look in this piece of the program right here. If you go inside fact finding right here, what I would try to do is initially set up an actual call. I want to get all the questions right. So what Grant's going to do inside fact finding is he's going to tell you, look, this is how you understand. And we've got the exact same thing on the cold call piece too. So if you're trying to figure out, hey, what cycle am I in? Because this is inside the sales cycle. If you're on a cold call, maybe you need to figure out, hey, what areas, or hey, have you ever looked at doing anything like this before? Have you ever done anything like this before? Is there a chance we could get on a call, take a quick discovery call, and figure out, hey, would this make sense to have a conversation about in the future? Because there's no reason for you to do a 4-hour analysis on somebody when there's probably questions you could figure out up front, right? So have you identified all those proper fact-finding questions? Like when I look at these videos right here, like what, why, how, okay? What, do they even understand what I'm doing, right? Are you trying to sell them before they even understand? Have you figured out the fact-finding pieces? Look, how can I sell these people? Danny, are you asking those types of questions like, do you have a fact-finding structure laid out?
So I have the fact-finding structure. So here's the thing: is more than half of these guys are going to turn me off, are going to shut me off because they've either worked with someone in the past, and as you know, the SEO industry is pretty. I mean, you have good guys and the bad guys, So the industry has a very bad reputation because a lot of these Indian companies and outsourcing companies and whatever, they're coming in and they're offering the same service. So what I want to do is create some sort of like a fact sheet of how, what makes me unique and different, and something that I can adjust and send it over to these guys, while I'm processing the proposal or whatever.
Perfect.
Something like that.
Yeah, perfect. So here's what I want you guys to do. This is what I want you to really understand. You're going to find this all sitting inside cold calling content. When Grant talks about, look, we're going to, these certain things about confronting the problems up front, you got to call them out. You got to tell somebody, hey, look, I know you probably have done SEO before. Have you done this? Ask the guy, look, hey, what experiences have you had with this before? Hey, I'm sure you probably get a lot of phone calls like this. When you typically make a decision about doing SEO for your company or anything that's going to grow revenue, what type of things do you look for? Oh, and are you the person who would actually take a look at this? Hey, okay, good. So John would be the guy to take a look. Whenever John makes a decision like this for his company, typically what's he looking for? Right? And so these are the things that you're going to find. It sounds like you're right inside the cold call piece. Like you need to figure out these things up front, the fact-finding piece of the master the cold call. That way you can figure out how to really sell somebody. So you go and do this big 4-hour analysis on somebody when, they're not even really open. So what I may even do is I may even set a call. Hey, look, I'm giving you a call today because we want to look at properly doing some SEO for your website. We know that you guys are currently on page 3 of Google. We're going to try to get you to number 1, which we can do. It's a 6-month process. Okay, and typically when we look at doing companies like this, we increase their sales by 200%. And what we want to be able to do for you is exactly the same thing. But what we'd love to do is have a quick discovery call to find out what areas of opportunity we can do this for your company. Are you guys open-minded to even speak about us increasing sales for your company? You know, we would look at something, send us over some information. Happy to do that. I'm going to send it over to you right now. Look, whenever I send it over, hey, what's one problem that we could solve for you right now that if we could solve it, you guys would do a quick discovery call with us? We're probably not looking at anything right now. No, I totally understand. But look, what we noticed was that we found you guys on page 3 of Google. How do you guys get business today? Well, we get business in this area. Excellent. Look, our last 4 clients were getting business exactly the same way. The reason we were able to double what they were doing is because we were able to change the amount of views that they were getting to their website, to their social media feeds, and everywhere people had eyeballs. Would love to take a look at it for you. Hey, when you make a decision like this, what type of growth are you guys typically looking for? Our average client sees about a 200%. Are you open-minded to take a look? I got to call things out too. I got to tell them, look, man, I got to say, Danny, look, man, it's Steve. I know you've done something like this before. You know, it's probably how you got from page 6 to page 3. We've been watching you guys for about 6 months now. Things look great. We see in a couple areas of opportunity. What we want to do is show you where we see some major gaps and see if it's worth a conversation. Before I send over a load of information, because I can do a 4-hour analysis, would you be able to hop on a quick 10 or 15-minute discovery call to find out if what we're doing would make sense for your company?
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, and so what I would do, man, is I would basically just, you know, put all that together. So that was kind of off the cuff, guys. If you like what if you guys like what you heard, it's because I've been training 6 segments every single day in Cardone University.
Wow.
Right? And so guys, whenever we put something together like this,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Hey, Danny, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you always calling in. So, guys, look, I'm going to take another call from Ralph from Kansas. We're going to handle Ralph's problem in Kansas. Ralph, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Dude, I'm doing unbelievable, man. I appreciate you asking. I got me some videos about commitment this morning from Cardone University, man. So I was bumping up my commitment levels to help you out. So who are you and how can we help you out today?
My name is Ralph Wright. I'm again here in Kansas City. I'm a part of a network marketing company, World Ventures. We help people achieve, what's on their bucket list, on their current budget. So I just had a question about closing because, I get a lot of excuses of, I'll do it next paycheck or, not right now, this and that. So I was just kind of trying to get better ways to close.
Okay, perfect, man. Have you done the training inside Understanding the Buyer?
I looked. Actually, I'm trying to think. I did one. I don't remember what it was called. I looked up. It was
okay.
I know Grant Cardone. He had one. He did an event about closing. And I seen that video.
Yeah, what I'm talking about right now is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to walk you through. So our man Ralph from Kansas, he's in network marketing. He's got objections in his business, just like you have in your business every single day. What we're going to handle right now is how to get good at handling all your objections. So just so you guys know, most salespeople operate with 1, 2, maybe 3 closes, which is terrible because what happens is that sometimes I just got to ask the guy 4, 5, 6, 7 times in different ways. I can't just keep asking him the exact same way or, hey, are you going to do this? Hey, when are you going to do business with us? This is a great product for you. You should do it. I can't just keep asking the guy that, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys how to handle objections right now. So if you look at this, John, I want you to go to my screen right here, and I want you guys to go into Understanding the Buyer. This is step 1. You have got to get your head right about this. You have got to get your head right about this piece right here. The magic of agreement. This is the very first rule of selling. So my man Ralph is saying, look, man, these people are giving me objections. How do I handle it? What do I need to do? Well, the first rule is the magic of agreement. Guys, there are 9 virtual videos inside here. I personally go through this content all of the time. The reason is because I got to keep selling myself on, dude, every time somebody gives me an objection, every time somebody says no, dude, I got to agree with them. And then what I want to do is I want to do this piece right here. So when I scroll down, this is going to be step 2. So this is a 2-part step right here. The magic of agreement. and then we're going to go into closing strategies, and then we're going to handle these problems for Ralph, right? So what objections are they getting? Ralph, what were the objections that you were getting?
I'll do it, next time I get paid, my next paycheck, or, now it's not the right time, things like that.
Okay, so what type of objection is that? Is that a money objection? Is that a
Yes.
is that a time objection? Is that
I
a stall, or is it an objection to your product? Sounds like it's a time.
I think I would say more so time and money.
Okay, good. So there's 45 different ways to handle objections based off money. And remember, guys, most salespeople operate on one or two. There's 9 different time closes, okay? What I think is happening for my man Ralph is that people are saying, hey, look, man, I'm good. I like the product. I want to do it. I got to wait till next month. I'm going to put this off. Okay, and so what I want to do is, number 1, what's the first rule in selling, Ralph? Do you remember?
First rule in selling,
Always, always, always agree.
always agree.
Right?
Okay.
Dude, I got to make sure that this guy knows, hey, dude, that's a great decision. Oh, perfect. Hey, next month works better for me. Excellent. Okay, I want you guys to use all the words that Grant teaches you inside the Magic of Agreement program. He's saying, hey, look, man, practice using this vocabulary. Excellent. Done. Happy to. Perfect. No problem. Okay, you guys are going to learn how to actually drill those all the time so that it becomes a second nature to you. Somebody tells me, hey, I'm going to do it next month. Perfect, man. Next month is perfect. Then I'm going to dive into these time objections right here. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to give you 2, Ralph, right now.
Uh-huh.
So I want you to look at 2. I want you to look at number 4. It's called the sooner or later close. And then I want you to look at the future date close. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to agree with them, and I'm going to say, hey, perfect, man. Happy to do that. Hey, can I get an agreement with you that you're going to do this with me next month? What are they going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we doing it. We'll do it next month. Right? So, dude, now I got some agreement from him. Right? So I agree with him. Dude, done. Dude, next month is better for me. Let me get an agreement that you will do it with me with this product next month, right? This is number 7. This is the future date close, but I got to agree with the guy first. Now what have I set myself up for? Now I've actually set myself up for video number 4, the sooner or later close. Okay, so what are we saying? Ralph tells me, no, man, I'm going to wait. I'm going to say, perfect, man, that's awesome. Love next month. Let me ask you this. Can I get just an agreement from you that you're going to do it with me, Steve, next month with this product? Okay. Ralph says what? Ralph says, dude, I'm good. I'm golden. I'm your man next month. Excellent. Look, man, what I would do is I would suggest doing this. If you know what's good, it's better to do it sooner rather than to do it later. Let's get it off your plate now. Let's get it handled this month. That way you can get the product now and you can start using it and benefiting from it today. What are they going to say?
I like that. Yeah.
Okay, what are they going to say? We don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. But if I don't go in for it, and I'm only 2 closes in, there's 219 different ways to handle a close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stacking up my arsenal. So even when I try to make sense of it that way, Ralph still tells me no. And I'm saying, look, Ralph, look, I totally understand that you don't want to do it right now. Let me ask you this. What if you did do it right now? How would you do it? You know, maybe it was a money objection. Guy's like, dude, I just don't have the money right now. Dude, no problem, man. I totally understand. If you did it right now, how would you pay for it? If you were going to do it today, how would you get the money? If we could get you started today and get you as a team member now, that way you can sell a few products by the end of the month, would you be able to pay off your first bill on your credit card for next month? Would that work? That way you don't even have to pay for it. Visa or MasterCard pays for it.
Right.
You know, dude, guys, look, it's inside the program. There's 219 different ways to handle objections sitting inside Cardone University. I'm telling you guys right now, everything we're talking about here at Cardone Training Technologies has to do with what? Getting your money right. It's about building more money. It's about learning how to sell more products and being better at what you do every single day. It's going to require this. It's going to require 6 training segments every single day. It's going to require you going through the program. It's going to require you actually taking a look at, dude, what cycle am I in? What am I looking at? My guy Danny today, he was in a different cycle. He's like, hey, man, how do I tighten this deal up? I'm spinning my wheels working with people who aren't even really looking at my product. I had my guy Keith right here. He's like, look, man, I just want to take more action on the deal. How do I get better at doing this? And so what you need to do, guys, is you need to figure out, look, what cycle of action am I in? What am I doing? You need to do your 6 training segments every single day. You got to stay consistent on the training. And then you got to be able to figure out, look, where am I at right now? How can I use Cardone University to get me a deal right now? Okay, because I'm not going to watch a video on how to stay motivated when, dude, I'm motivated. I just need to know what to say to the guy when he tells me no. All the motivation in the world is not going to get that guy to change his answer. You could be freaking jacked. You could have the most commitment level ever. Dude, if you don't know how to handle the guy's objection, if you don't know how to make sense of it for him, if you don't know how to help him make the right decision, which is what sales is for you, you guys will never get the deal. You're never going to get the opportunity. And so for you to become a master at sales, Cardone University is there for you every single day to be able to do that. It takes a commitment. We got one more caller. I'm going to take David from Poland. My man, he calls in. Now, this guy's committed, and I appreciate David calling in every single week. So, David, how can I help you out today?
Hi, Steve. It's me, David. One more time.
How you doing?
Can I pitch you for a second? I will try my cold speech.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go right ahead, man. I'd love to hear it.
Hi, Steve. This is David with Prudential. And the reason I'm calling you is I would like to show you how our company helped our clients secure their financials in case of something bad happened. I wonder if you can give me 10 minutes of your time to show you how we can figure this out.
Okay.
Okay. And
yeah. So David, I'm going to flunk you right there, bro. So I'm going to flunk you, because I care about you. I care about your success. And guys, if you're doing role plays in your company and you're not flunking other people, when you identify something immediately, you're like, hey, look, my man David could fix that. We could tighten it up. If you're not flunking people, I want you to look at this. I want you guys to go into Master the Cold Call. And John, if you want to look at this, I'm going to go inside Master the Cold Call right here. And actually, here's what we're really going to do. Because I'm going to show you guys how to use the search bar every time you do this. Okay? I want you to use the search bar when you're looking for something specific. This actually happens to be in daily success rituals for inside sales. So start your day with training and role play. Right? And so, David, what I want you to do is I want you to identify, look, how do I get better at role playing? Because I can tell, just from, I can tell that you're not confident in the pitch. And the reason why I can tell that is because, the pitch isn't even really tight. You're saying a little bit. And I'm not trying to pick on you, David. I'm trying to let you know, like, that comes across as uncertain. And so the reason why you guys want to role play every single day and the way you want to practice, and if you don't have somebody to role play with, dude, you stick your nose up against the wall. Grant Cardone used to make me do this. Okay. I was up, right? This is me. This is the wall. And I'm sitting here role playing back and forth by myself. Okay. Because I didn't have anybody to role play with. So what I'm telling you is that, look, you can role play whether you're a single person or whether you're with a group, but you got to do it, because if not, that uncertainty comes across in the call. Now, you need to tighten that pitch up, and you need to use some of the content that you've used inside the program. So, if you use how to build out the script the right way, David, you're going to have a lot better chance of being able to get the pitch down right. Because right now what you're doing is you're just calling a guy up and you're saying, hey, I want to spend 10 minutes with you, but you're not really saying anything. You're just asking the guy. You're calling up, you're saying, hey, David, it's Steve, man. You don't know me, but can I just get 10? I know you're running a business, but can I get 10 minutes of your time? And I just want to show you a bunch of stuff. And then you can probably tell that I wasn't that certain about it when I told you. And so, man, they can feel that. And so, David, I'm not picking on you. Look, I'm telling you, look, these are some areas in which you should look at. And so for everybody on this call right now, confront every single problem that you have. If you're not certain on your deal, you're not certain on it. That's where you've got the opportunity to get certain in what you're doing. So, for you, David, look, what I would do is get that pitch down, because, the pitch wasn't even really anything from cold calling. It wasn't anything sitting inside the actual master of the cold call content. So I would really go in and I would dig in and I would say, hey, man, dude, the cold call process, when I'm calling up somebody, I got to know what cycle I'm in. Are they a cold call? Are they a warm call? Are they somebody who already has this product? Are they somebody who already has this service? If I know what cycle they're in, then I really know how to set that greeting up. because I know who that person is. If I have gotten them from a list of somebody who already has insurance, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to say, hey, this is Steve. I'm calling you from, X insurance company. And look, we've got an unbelievable opportunity. And I already know that you have this type of insurance. So I'm not trying to sell you anything today. What I want to do is I want to show you, boom, I'm going to drop in the big claim. I got to drop in a reason why this guy wants to give me a couple minutes. It's right inside the cold call process, guys. You got to get that big claim right, or else the only thing you're doing is you're calling up a guy and you're just asking him, hey, man, can I just get a bunch of your time? Man, what's the most valuable thing for people? It's time. It's time and money, So I can't just call the guy up and just ask him, hey, can you give me 10 minutes? I'm not really sure what I'm going to talk to you about, but what I am going to do is I'm going to spend 10 minutes with you, and I'm going to see if you want to buy my product. The guy's just going to be like, not interested, and he's going to hang up on you. So you got to set that big claim. You got to confront exactly his problem. Hey, look, I'm giving a call from X insurance company. Okay. Already know that you have this type of insurance. I'm not even trying to sell you anything right now. Most of our clients had this type of insurance before, and there was 3 reasons why they wanted to flip over and switch to our plan, because it's a little bit different, has a lot more support, and it's going to get you X more amount of value in the life of the actual term, whatever that case may be. Let me ask you this. Are you the person in your company? Are you the person in your household who would take a look at this? Yeah, I would take a look at that. Excellent. Look, I got 2 more questions for you to even see if this makes a sense to look at. And that's where you want to drop those in. But guys, you got to do the training. You got to do the 6 segments every single day, and you got to evaluate what you're doing every single day. You got to look at, hey, what's my script look like? When I call somebody up, what's it sound like? And so David, man, the guy's got the balls to call up and say, look, can you listen to my script? I want to change it up. It's not working for me. I need to build some more certainty in what I'm doing. So for you guys, that's what you got to do. I want you to get as committed as David is every single week. He's showing up every single week. I know my guys from Greenwood Funeral Homes, they're here every single week. Those guys are awesome. So guys, my name's Steve Spray. I come to you live every single Wednesday. We come to you at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason why we do this is because we want to get like-minded people together so we can go over problems and challenges people are having inside their sales process, inside their cold call pitches, in everything that they're doing. And what we are going to do is we are going to handle it with the multi-million-dollar program that you have called Cardone University. Every single salesperson has an opportunity to really grow and build up a business for them and for themselves. So when we talk about using, all the financial material. So when you're inside all the finance, how to build wealth inside this program right here, when you're inside personal finances, look, what I'm going to look at inside personal finances, the first thing is, look, I got to get my money up, which means you got to look at what's actually happening. You got to get your pitch right. Sales is a numbers game. And at some point, man, you guys got to get real good at those numbers so you can get your money up. It's going to take skill. It's going to take frequency, and it's going to take major commitment. So guys, thank you for being committed to me every single week to come in, because what I'm doing here is committed to you trying to get your money right using Cardone University. Guys, my name's Steve Spray. We come to you live every Wednesday. We're going to see you back here next Wednesday, 2 p.m. for the Cardone Mastermind call. You guys have a great week.